Okay, third time is a charm trying this new streaming platform. I realized that on the weeknights and weekends that we do these lives, I've been neglecting the followers we have on Facebook and YouTube. So we're doing a Facebook, YouTube, Instagram stream all at once here, answering some real estate questions. So if you have any questions as we get going here, we'll probably keep this one kind of short. Gonna make a little treat here in a bit, so I gotta hop off here with the wifey. But for a little bit here, we're gonna answer some. What's funny about that? We're going to answer some real estate questions. Guys, I got started just in May of 2021? May of 2021, I bought my first house. Okay, where are we now? We are April of 23. Still working to stabilize the portfolio, stabilize meaning get everything rented out, get everything fixed up, and so on and so forth. But we're at 29 doors. We have one flip, not really much of a flipper here, but we have one flip going on. 29 doors total, and we do a little bit of wholesaling also. How I got started was I was hungry for it early on when I had a junk removal company, and I wasn't necessarily ready yet because I did not have a team. I didn't have a team. I did not have contractors. I didn't have a closing company. I didn't have anybody. I didn't have anybody. I had money saved up that I threw at a property where I actually didn't know what to do with it. Then I said, okay, well, I got this property. Guess what? Now I have to throw it on Craigslist and sell it. That was before I actually got started in the game. Again, if we got any comments on any one of the platforms, just drop them in the comments, and hopefully they'll shoot over here on this streaming platform we're using. But back to the story. I saved up some money, bought a house from a customer who was a junk removal customer. Wasn't ready, did not have the expertise to do anything, ended up going along and selling it. But I learned one thing: I can take action. I can take action. I can't, fear is not going to control me. The worst thing that could have happened was I lost my entire investment. Now, I have no problem gambling money. I don't know if that has anything to do with it. Hopefully not. But if I learned anything out of that situation, it's I need to learn more, need to have a team, and I can take action. Moving along, another year goes past. I have more money saved up. This property was like $32,000. Still didn't have a team. I had one contractor that I knew locally, actually. Bought the house. It was listed for rent on Zillow. It was in the for rent section on Zillow, and this is kind of rare, actually. And in the description, they put that they would be willing to sell the house. So it was like $32,000 plus closing costs. Got my scope of work from a big GC in town here, and it was way higher, way more money than I had. It was like $86,000, I think, was the rehab estimate. And then the one contractor that I did know, he gave me some pricing also, and I really didn't like it, really didn't think I could complete the project. So he reached out to his investors that he does flips for, and I offloaded it to him, made a couple $1,000s, and we're back in saving mode. Saving all the money from junk removal jobs that I could, and just kind of not really searching for the real estate side of things. And then May of 2021 came. That is when my guys were on a junk removal job, hit me up. I had told them before, if they find me a property, I'll give them a finder's fee, a little bonus. So he hit me up. Hey, this lady's interested. Okay, cool. We're going to go out there. We're going to take a look at it. and see if it's a deal. So she wanted like $35,000 for it. I had $200,000 saved up at the time. Pull the trigger. Let's do it. Mind you, I still did not know what I didn't know, which was a lot. That to date, out of the 29 doors that we have now, all the projects we've done, all the wholesale deals, that was the worst one that I've done because it was the hardest. Still took the action. That's great. But the entire flooring system in the kitchen, in the living room was rotted out. We did demo on that one, a big demo. We converted the garage, the old garage, into a livable bedroom again. And it was just, I didn't have any contractors, did a lot of the work myself that I could, and started building up some contractors and had some good ones that I still use to this day. And I had some bad ones, like the guy who did the driveway. His crew that did the driveway, they took this the old blacktop driveway and dumped it up the road in a ditch. So I'm not going to use you ever again. Let's see here if we got any comments coming on any of the platforms. Yes, you can definitely ask a question. Go ahead, Life. So that contractor, because he didn't want to, the driveway looks fine, by the way. The price was fine. Driveway is fine. I just didn't like how he did business at all. Yeah, ask your question if you got a question. I don't know if I'll be able to respond back in the questions here because this is a streaming platform. First time using it, just getting set up with it. But these contractors that are going to screw you over, have you done any work in Tulsa? No, have not. Based in North Carolina. That's where we're at. North Carolina. 9 Design. North Carolina. Comment which platform you're on, commenting that, because I can't see right now. So yes, these contractors out here, you need to be selling yourself. If you're new to the game, you need to sell yourself on, hey, I want a long-term relationship with you. I am going to buy X amount of houses in X amount of time. For me, my first goal is 100, and then we'll work up from there. In about 3 years, we should have it doesn't have to be 100 houses, but 100 doors. I'm on YouTube, and NC is a great market from what I hear. Yes, 9 Design, it definitely is. So your contractor relationship, if you're just getting started in real estate, is going to be the most critical. Case in point, I've used the same contracting team since December of 2021. I've kept these guys busy all but I think 3.5 weeks from 2021 to now. So that contracting team, 3.5 weeks out of a few years where you weren't consistently busy doing my projects is definitely the relationship that you need to have in mind for these contractors. Let's see. Hopefully we're live on Instagram there. So out of those 3.5 weeks where my main team hasn't been working for me, there's a consistent income stream that they can depend on due to my actions. So if you can sell a smaller contracting team, handyman team, maybe he's got a handyman, 4 guys, whatever it is. In my case, my guy he fluctuates between about 5 to 7 total plus him. And it's been great this far. I got extremely lucky finding him. How did I find him? Someone's probably going to ask that. How did I find my main contracting team that do my rehabs? So again, back to the junk removal, the service-based side. I happened to be on a job one day. I see a crew working on stuff in the backyard, a deck, working on stuff at the inside, and we were there to take away the renovation debris. So I asked the homeowner, hey, how how does he work? How's his work? Yeah, come inside and take a look at it. Cool. I go inside, look at the work. The work looks good. I actually get his number and I start him off with a very small project, fixing some doors at my first property that I purchased. So he did a little bit of trim work for me, couple $100 job. Cool. Now we go to the next project. The next project was like a $1,500 job at the second property I bought. And then we go to the third project. The third project's a $10,000 project, labor only, $10,000 projects. And now he's doing, we have a 14 unit complex. So he's up to, right now, his labor is 75,000 on this project. So we went from a couple hundred, 1,500, 10,000, and working our way up to he can handle a $75,000 project. Now, were there some speed bumps along the way? Yes, absolutely. But if you're a good project manager, going on site, doing what you're supposed to do, you can actually just communicate. That's all it comes down to. Any questions, you guys, drop them below. They look like they are showing up here, so just drop them below. So building that contractor relationship, if I would have had that on the very first house that I bought that I had to sell, or the second house, because I had the capital, but I didn't have the relationship to feel comfortable. And I'm not a construction expert. I don't have the skills for that. Totally fine. I can be the manager. As long as I need to know what needs to happen, what it needs to look like, what right looks like, basic customer service skills, then we can go along, manage our projects. I did a live earlier today on Instagram from the condo flip that we're doing. Somebody wanted to learn, they wanted to learn, well, what do I look for in a flip? It's not too hard, guys. Look at the house that you live in. Does your house, look at the drywall. The drywall is nice, flush, flat, more than likely. Look at the doors. Look at the roof. What's the roof supposed to look like? Does your house have gutters? Does your house have siding? It's easier than you think once you actually pull the trigger and get started. A lot of people get overwhelmed with the amount of stuff that has to be done. I totally get it. I was there on these first property, second property, third property. You really don't know what's going on. Another thing I would have done differently is I would have actually networked from the start. So I would have networked from the start, built up some relationships that way. How do you do that? If you're in a good sized town, you can, let's see here. If you're in a good sized town, you can actually go to a local RIA, Real Estate Investor Association meeting, and meet people that are willing to help you locally in your market, whether it's analyzing a deal, whether it's a contractor recommendation, whether it's you need someone to walk your project who has your best interest in your back. Okay, build those relationships, start going to those meetings, start telling people what you want to do, speak it into existence. And if you're a person who doesn't have your first rental property, then you can go out there and get after it. You're going to have a lot better chance with allies that are against you rather than you just by yourself, or partnering up with people who have already done it. That's another good way. Guys, if you got any questions, just drop them. Let's see here. Just drop them in the chat below. I'm hoping we're live on Instagram. Actually, let me go ahead and check here. We should be live. Do you hold any of your properties? Was that supposed to say wholesale or hold? Do you hold any of your properties? Yes. If it's wholesale, yes, we do wholesale. And if it's hold, yes, everything that we do wholesale, my bad. Yes. Those wouldn't technically be our properties. We're just assigning the contract. Some of them lately we actually have double closed on. So double closed, if you're not familiar, I can't see your profile. So if you're not familiar what a double close is, we're going to take title to the property, and we are going to fund it, close it, and then they're going to do their title search again, update it, and then we're going to close it on the B side. So you have an A side and a B side. You close it on the B side, that's us buying it and taking it over. Excuse me. You close it on the A side, that's us taking it over, buying it from the seller. On the B side, that's us selling it to the end buyer. So yes, we wholesale. Not really much of a flipper personally. We have used the BRRRR method to scale the portfolio thus far, excluding a few owner finance deals. The 14-unit apartment complex, we got owner finance, and 2 other houses we have owner finance. So 13, 14, 15 doors out of 29. So almost about half of the portfolio we've BRRRR'd, and the other half are owner finance, where we're not going to BRRRR out and do the refinance. Good question there. I'm on YouTube. Yep. All right, got that one. All right. Any other questions? I got about a couple more minutes here, and then I am going to cut off for the evening. Again, so my personal take on the flipping is it's not something that we're really interested in. We have a condo flip we're doing right now. Not super big on HOAs personally, just because not really big on condos personally for rentals, because I have I have a unit next to me, a unit above me, and a unit below me. Now, don't get me wrong, I could rent this condo for good rental rate compared to my all-in purchase price. So my all-in purchase price is, let me see, 45. $45, 53. So my all-in rehab and purchase price on this current condo flip we have going on right now, I think it's about $56,000 with everything we had to do to it. So we're at $56,000, and it would rent for a good conservative number of $1,200 a month, and I believe it's $53 for HOA. I don't know if my bank even refinances condos. I didn't ask. So we are going to sell that one. How did I determine if we're going to sell it? Well, again, I have people above, people below, and people to decide that I have no control over. If I could buy the whole building, a whole condo building, that would be a different story. What is your market prediction for the summer and the rest of the year? Well, we already know Fed Chair Jay Powell is going to raise the rates. So depending on what market you're in, if you're in a bigger market, I would say the prices are probably going to keep coming down on the really expensive, the big boom markets. So the ones that just shot up sky high the last 2 to 3 years, those ones are going to take a nice hit. My prediction, where I'm at in North Carolina, a little bit insulated area. We're going to definitely take my prediction is we definitely are going to head downward, a little bit more of a trend downward before we head back neutral and then back up. But it really doesn't matter. All of my properties are long-term holds, so it really doesn't affect me. If I lose fake money, which is my fake equity, equity is fake until you actually at the point where you're going to sell, or I guess in this case, refinance. Since my properties are relatively new, it really doesn't matter. So the condo, back to the condo. Sorry. Market prediction. Okay. Back to the condo. So the condo numbers on that, we should be able to sell it conservatively for 105,000. Again, could have kept it for a rental, let's say 1,200 a month, $153 a month in HOA. And that one, I would have actually had to keep my money in it because I don't know anyone that refinances. Maybe I would have to hold it for 6 months if my bank wouldn't refinance it because they're a little bit weird with condos. Some banks clearly finance condos, but I don't think mine does. If I did have to keep that condo. But how did I determine that? How did I determine? Let's see. How did I determine if I was going to flip it, if I was going to rent it? Well, again, a lot of people ask that because they really don't understand it. It's just my personal preference. Above me, below me, to the side, to the other side, whatever it is, I don't have control. When it comes to real estate, I personally believe that you need control. Do you own an apartment complex or would you want to own one? Yes, we own a 14-unit complex. We got it in January. It was completely trashed. Head over to, let's see, where did you comment that on? Facebook. Head over to my, let's see, Instagram. Head over to my Instagram, TikTok, at Ryan Troyer TV, and you can see some apartment complex stuff. So this thing's kind of in the country on the outskirts of town, and this was a big one. It's no different than a single family home rehab. We just have more units to do. So everything's the same. We have more units to do. It costs more money. That's about the only difference. Let's see, starting on left to right, we painted the cabinets, we put new light fixtures, we put new flooring, we replaced a lot of windows. This apartment complex had a lot of broken windows, broken doors. Let's see what else. We put a brand new roof on one of the buildings. So it's 3 buildings total, 14 units. It's 6, 6, and 2. And currently we have 9 that are done. We started in January. We have 9 that are done. And we have 1 occupied, one that's going to be occupied and not renovated until the owner that we bought it from moves out, because that's the deal that we made. There are, let's see, 2, 3, 4 left to go. So 9 rehabbed. We got 4 left to go. And 1 that we're going to wait until the owner moves out. So yes, I'm more than open to getting an apartment complex. But would I have started with an apartment complex over the single family? Absolutely not. That would have been the worst way to start. I would have no idea how to manage it, how to run it, how to do it. It would be overwhelming, and I probably would have burned myself to the ground financially if we went and did that. So everything you see online, don't always believe it, guys. Anthony Allen. Okay. So that was on Facebook. Cool. Let me see here. And I don't think any other last minute questions. If you're just hopping on now, you can watch it all when we finish up here. And it'll be posted up. I don't think it posted to Instagram, so that kind of sucks. Okay. Do you own any mobile home parks? No, but I definitely want to. We've been so close 2 times to getting a mobile home park. One was a nice little 6-unit for 60. She wanted 60,000, and we were so close to getting that. That's with the land, the trailers, and everything for park-owned homes. We would have made out like bandits, but that one did not work out. And then we were close on another one, and that one didn't work out. We also don't market for those, Anthony. So that's something that we definitely need to step our game up on and market them, because these ones on the outskirts in the country where we're at, they seem to be the hot ticket. So I'm more than willing to start some mobile home parks up. And ideally, if we could do seller finance on a mobile home park, that would be even better. Anthony, also, since you asked the apartment complex question, so the apartment complex, let me talk about how we got that one real quick. So that lead came in. The sellers owed, I think, 45,000 in back taxes to the county. The county was going to foreclose on this 14-unit complex, take it back. So imagine that, right? So we structured, I said, all the units needed renovation. There's a bunch of windows that weren't broke out, but by the time we closed it, of course, they were broke out. There was food that sat in these units for 6 months. There was rats. There was, if you name it, it was probably at this complex. So we structured that one seller finance. We put $90,000 down on a $500,000 sale price for this apartment complex at 0% interest for 20 years on an apartment complex. That was the only apartment complex I've ever bought that we own. And so we have $410,000 of debt that we owe to the seller, 20 years at 0%. And when we started this, I never would have thought that a deal like that would have came. That complex, we should make right around about 45 to 50 when we're fully stabilized. How can you get 0%, Anthony? We do what's called seller finance, a seller carryback, owner finance, whatever you want to call it. The property was paid off. They owed the $40,000. We gave them $90,000 down, and they finance us just like a bank would. That's the best way I can explain it. They're holding a piece of paper with a promissory note that says, my entity is paying them X amount of dollars a month, 0% interest for 20 years. That's how you can get that. You can't get that going to a bank. You have to get a seller finance. When it's seller finance and you're direct to seller, you can go however, you can go however, whatever terms that you want. We have another seller finance home that we did 3% on for 15 years. Mind you, this is when the rates were 5-6%. We negotiated 3%. Another seller finance single family home that we have is 0% interest for 5 years, and then we do what's called a balloon payment. So since the seller is in his 70s, he said, I'm not waiting 20 years to get my money. Okay, totally cool. Let's do 0% interest for 5 years, and we'll pay that balance down. $750 a month is our payment to that. We're gonna essentially I call it a piggy bank. So we're putting it in a piggy bank, and it's just stacking up, paying that balance down. At the end of the 5 years, I have to come up with, in this case, it's $135,000. How am I going to do that? I can sell the property. I can refinance the property. Or pay him $135,000. So that's my 3 options. If I have $135,000 sitting there, I can pay him off. We're good. And the property will be free and clear, but that's not going to help me leverage and scale the way I need to. So we're either going to refinance or we're going to sell it. If we refinance, we'll be able to pull a lot more cash back, or maybe we'll just do a refinance enough to pay them out. Either one works. In the meantime, we taking our depreciation on it. We're taking our cash flow, and in 5 years from now, I would assume the market would appreciate back to not back to the highest of highs, but we should have some appreciation by then. All right, last 1 minute for comments. 1 minute for comments. Let's give it a go here. No other comments rolling in. Okay, cool. Let's end this thing, and we'll see you guys on the next one.